The Hmong ethnicity has had a long journey in their history. All the way from Thailand to the United States, the Hmong have persevered through the obstacles that have faced them. Before the French colonization and the Vietnam War, the Hmong lived peaceful, happy lives in the isolated mountains of Southeast Asia. But due to the unfortunate turn of events that occurred to the Hmong, they soon experienced a painful loss of their homeland and a great mass of the Hmong population. Because of their participation in the Vietnam War by request from the CIA, the Hmong were faced with persecution of the North Vietnamese. Therefore, the Hmong were forced to emigrate or face an unhappy ending. Upon their arrival in the United States, what the future holds for the Hmong is yet to be found out. We will first begin with the event that led the Hmong to their great losses, the Vietnam War.
A communist armada rolls into place. Spring 1975.
The primary concern of America's involvement in Vietnam was focused on the termination of the spread of communism in regard to President Dwight D. Eisenhower's domino theory. In 1957, the communist North Vietnam took the first step into waging war against the Republic of South Vietnam in order to gain control. With the North Vietnamese supported by the Soviet Union and Communist China, and South Vietnam with America, the 1,000-day war unfolded into a bloody massacre, resulting in great losses from both sides. Years passed with many events such as the U.S. employment of Agent Orange and Operation Rolling Thunder, as America uses the attrition tactic. The attrition tactic, which is a military strategy where an opposite side attempts to wear down its opponent to victory, reached its climax in December of 1972 when President Nixon ordered his B-52 bombers to bomb directly in the heart of North Vietnam, Hanoi. Despite this military action leading to the signing of January 1973 Paris Peace Accords, war was renewed. The 1975 Spring Offensive was then commenced, leading to the downfall of Saigon by General Van Thien Dung. The Hmong relation to the Vietnam War dates back to this significant event in January 30th, 1968. This well-known event was known as the Tet Offensive. Although the Hmong do not directly relate to the Tet Offensive, they were strongly affiliated with what the Tet Offensive was based off of, the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Unknown to the Americans, the enemy has spent the past 7 months slowly moving hundreds of thousands of mortars, artillery shells, small arms, hand grenades, and explosives into the south via the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Previously called the Chuzon Trail, the Ho Chi Minh Trail was a vast system of mountain and jungle trails that linked together the entire Southeast Asian region. The existence of the Ho Chi Minh Trail was a substantial catalyst in the Vietnam War. With the Ho Chi Minh Trail, the North Vietnamese ability to transport supplies ceased to no end because of the intricacy of the trails and the extent of the great coordination behind the administrators of the trail. The transportation of supplies was extremely essential to the North Vietnamese victory because large sums of supplies were able to arrive at their destination to supply the North Vietnamese invading South Vietnam. The quantities of the supplies were as heavy as 4 tons per truck. If those supplies would not have reached their destinations, would the outcome of the war have been different? The United States' attempt in controlling the Ho Chi Minh Trail would be found in their efforts in the Secret War. The Secret War was led by the CIA in order to disrupt the supply lines that ran through the Ho Chi Minh Trail. The Hmong people were the most capable group to hire. Along with the Hmong themselves, General Vang Pao was a leader with prestige. They were better than anyone else around. Every step they took was up or down, so they could move a lot faster than the enemy. They needed a leader, and Vang Pao seemed like the most suitable man for the job. CIA agent Bill Lair, the father of the Hmong people. The Hmong were then recruited under the CIA and trained. Throughout the years of the Vietnam War, the Hmong underwent sabotage operations in the Ho Chi Minh Trail along with search and rescue missions for downed U.S. pilots. Although war efforts were minimally successful, the Hmong casualty number was extreme. In the course of 4 years, 100,000 soldiers were lost, decimating the male population. Thus, Hmong children were also deployed.
Every boy is 12 years and up had to join the service as long as you can hold a weapon to shoot the enemy. Everybody is to go to war. And so it was quite an interesting thing for all the boys, and we were mature much faster than any other kids in the world. We were ready to shoot anything that will come to our country.
Despite the absurdity of deploying the young in the war, what had to be done was done.
Em sister. He said can do two things, automatically and semi-automatic.
How old is he?
10.
The Vietnam War and the Secret War ended simultaneously in the year of 1975. But, despite the end of one conflict, another came for the Hmong people. As mentioned before, because the Hmong supported the United States during the Vietnam War, they were listed as enemies to the North Vietnamese. Whether they were a soldier or not, a Hmong person was killed on sight. In fear of facing the North Vietnamese, the Hmong were forced to flee. They became refugees in this process, people who have been forced to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster. The most frequent turn of events that occurred to Hmong migrants were relocation and resettlement. Protected by a garrison supported by the French or Royal Lao government, whole villages moved by foot from camp to camp in order to prevent encounters with the North Vietnamese. Numerous camps were spread throughout Laos, Phir Nong Khai, Nong Pui, Sop Tuang, and the better known Ban Vinai. The main objective for every Hmong refugee was to cross the Mekong River and get to Thailand.
They had no freedom. When you come to the thing in the camp, you had nowhere to go. You had nowhere to go. They had fan. If you get out the fan, the Thai police catch you and they're punishing yourself. You get hurt. Sometimes they broken bone, something like that,
As Hmong refugees would reach Thailand, they stayed in camps for months at a time. The usual situation for a Hmong waiting within a camp was to wait for a sponsorship from a relative already in America or by church. Despite these ways of migration, my interviewee witnessed a different way.
Well, my story is a little bit different. My dad took us to France, actually. Yeah. So we were, we left the camp by bus to Bangkok. It's Thailand's capital, and then we flew to France, to Paris, France.
As of today, the Hmong live better lives. Day by day, they obtain social stability, educational opportunities, and economic self-sufficiency.
Do you have any insight towards what the future holds for the Hmong people at all?
I think we're getting better every day. I'm so happy that Hmong are getting much better every day. As a matter of fact, this year I was able to, or last year, this past New Year, I was able to attend the Hmong New Year in Minnesota, and I saw all the young people that were so talented. There are so many young Hmong with the biggest opportunity, and they really take advantage of that. And we have come a long way, but we are much further ahead than a lot of other Southeast Asian kids.
Yeah.
So I'm so proud of Hmong people. I'm very proud to be a Hmong.
As Va Shong has said, I too am proud to be a Hmong person. Despite being different in ethnical and historical background, I am acknowledged as a respected person today. The Hmong ethnicity has undoubtedly lived through a difficult past. Although it is important to take note of precedent times, what the Hmong must do now is to take hold of the chances that are given and make the very best of them.